Hi everyone, Zain from Nitrous Academy. Today we're going to talk about the top 10 of the world's largest stock exchanges. So at number one spot we have the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange. It's the biggest stock exchange by far and probably the world's most prestigious stock exchange. It's located in Manhattan in New York City. The NYSE primarily has US stocks, although many international companies also have listings on it. The three largest companies on the NYSE is Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company, Alibaba, and Johnson & Johnson. Alibaba is a good example of an international company that has also listed on the NYSE. The reason why many international companies will do this is to gain exposure to the US market and the US investors, as the US is still considered the world's largest economy and therefore has the most capital to invest in companies, including foreign companies. At the number second spot, we have the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is also based in New York City. It's considered a stock exchange primarily consisted of tech companies. The three largest companies listed on the Nasdaq is Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple, and many other tech companies will be listed on Nasdaq as well. At number three, we have the JPX, which stands for the Japan Exchange Group. The Japan Exchange Group owns both the Tokyo Stock Exchange and the Osaka Securities Exchange. And together these two basically form most of Japan's exchange markets. And many Japanese giants are listed on this exchange, as well as many other Asian companies. So the Japan Stock Exchange is considered very important. And if you are an investor who invests internationally in international markets, then you will most likely be dealing with the Japan Exchange Group and mostly through this Tokyo Stock Exchange if you want, especially if you want to invest in companies such as Toyota, Honda, Mitsubishi, and Nippon Electric and stuff like that. At number four, we have the Shanghai Stock Exchange, which is China's largest exchange. It focuses mostly on Chinese companies, like mainland Chinese companies, and it's actually very hard and definitely much harder than other stock exchanges as a foreign investor to invest in it. I currently live in the US, so if I wanted to invest in a Shanghai Stock Exchange, on a company in the Shanghai Stock Exchange, you just have to go through a little bit more red tape. So that's kind of a downside for many foreign investors. And actually, that kind of ties it in with number five, the Hong Kong Exchange, the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. And basically, even though it's smaller than the Shanghai Stock Exchange, it's considered more accessible for foreign investors because of its location in Hong Kong, which has easier laws for foreign investors. The Hong Kong Stock Exchange has many companies, Chinese-based companies, as well as other Asian companies that are listed on it. At number six, we have the Euronext, which is the EU's main exchange. Has exchanges all over Europe, including main cities such as Amsterdam, Brussels, and Frankfurt, including other cities such as Paris and London. And pretty much any European company such as Adidas, Audi, will have listings on the Euronext. At number seven, we have the London Stock Exchange, which is the UK's largest stock exchange. It's mainly British and European companies that are listed on this exchange. Because of Brexit, this stock exchange has actually been going through a lot of change recently, as many European companies are delisting because of the UK's status, their removal from the European Union. At number eight, we have the Shenzhen Stock Exchange. It's mainland China's second largest stock exchange, and it was originally created as a rival to Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Now, they both operate in synchrony, kind of like how the Nasdaq and NYSE are, because of their proximity to one another. It primarily has Chinese companies and it's pretty important and has a lot of Chinese tech companies, as Shenzhen is considered like the Silicon Valley of China. At number nine, we have TSX, which owns Canada's largest stock exchange, the Toronto Stock Exchange. It has mainly Canadian companies as well as some US companies, but primarily its focus is on Canadian companies. And last but not least, at number 10, we have the Bombay Stock Exchange, and it's India's largest stock exchange. It's definitely one of the fastest growing stock exchanges. Over here on the bottom, we have a list of all the stock exchanges and their rankings, as well as where they're located and the city they're located in. And right here we have the market cap of the stock exchanges in the billions of dollars. So as you can see, the New York Stock Exchange is the biggest, and it's worth more than the other about 9 stock exchanges that come after it combined. And over here, we have the monthly trade volume in billions of dollars. This is how many billions of dollars change hands in each stock exchange. And finally, over here we have the time zone of each stock exchange and what time it opens and what time it closes. The stock exchanges have become very much a global thing. It's practically a 24/7 thing, because if once you, for example, let's say New York opens first, well then London's gonna open, then Europe's gonna open, then the Middle East is gonna open, then India, then Hong Kong, then China, then Japan, and so on and so forth, back to New York. So the stock exchanges have become a global market, and pretty much 24/7 there's always something happening in the stock market. And that concludes our video for today. If you like this video, please do give us a like and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at nitrousacademy.com. To learn more about who we are at Nitrous Academy and to see more of our videos, please check out www.nitrousacademy.com. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.